Happy early Halloween. Halloween's coming early for you guys. I know it's one of your favorite holidays. Everybody loves pumpkin spice latte, although pumpkin spice cold brew is better. You could fight me on that. And we're gonna be doing some Halloween makeup looks. Now, I'm all about simplicity. Sometimes I go a little bit like crazy for Halloween, but I'm more about simplicity. Like, what can we do to make our lives easier, to do makeup that like maybe we don't have a super high skill level, or we just want something simple but we want to look cute. I'm all about that. So today I'm going to be turning myself into a deer. I live in Pocono Mountains. I'm always seeing the deer. They're in my front yard. I'm almost hitting them every time I come home. They're safe, don't worry. So I'm going to be transforming into one. And one of the ways that I'm going to start doing that is by wearing my Shapermint bra. This bra is super comfortable and it has really, really smooth lines. I'm still in my pajama shorts, ignore that. It has really, really smooth lines. Look at this, the actual cuppage is under here. There's no underwire and it just feels so soft, like you're wearing like a t-shirt. I have about an F cup and it gives tons and tons of support. The straps don't dig into my shoulders like a lot of other bras do, and they also don't dig into my sides like a lot of other bras do. So huge fan of that. Also, they make doing the costume a lot easier because I'm going to be pairing them with these nudie shorts, some deer hands, and some deer antlers, and a little sweater too. So it'll be a cute look overall, a little bit sexy, but overall very simple, and I couldn't do it without True Kind by Shapermint. So let's get started on this look. My son recently destroyed all of my about face cheeks. I mean, like this one's not so bad, but he went to town. So I don't believe in wasting anything, even though I ordered a whole new set. So while these won't look as pretty on camera, I mean, it's Halloween, right? If we're gonna use messed up, busted up makeup, what better time than Halloween, right? So we're gonna be using some of these blushes from About Face to get some, I know it's a horror show, right? You're gonna scream. Oh, and we also have this one too. He put some like eyeshadow in there or something. I don't know what he put in there. But we're gonna use these all over the face to kind of get that like browned look in lieu of like doing a foundation. Now these look a little intimidating. I know they're like really dark, but they actually apply kind of in a sheer way, so they're gonna be really easy to build up. I'm also grabbing a brush this is from LaRousse. This is the Duo Fiber brush. And I actually want to get started on the face first. So let's go in with like this lighter color. This shade is called Cheek Freak Raunchy. And I'm just gonna swirl it in there. I love this. See, I told you it's not that like intimidating. So this is the LaRouche brush. I really like this brush because it stipples on like really nicely. Look at that. Look at how nice that's looking. You were like, oh my god, I can't afford Halloween makeup, but you happen to have like blushes lying around, even blush palettes. Go into them. I'm telling you, you could do magic. So we're just starting off with Raunchy. That went right into my hair, didn't it? So we're starting off with Raunchy to like darken up a little bit. It's probably one of the lighter shades, but you know, I want a base. Now in real life, when you're using these as like actual blush, I will tell you that they are like the lightest, most like cream to powder, easy to use, comfortable feeling on the face. And if you have sensitive skin like me and like Halloween makeup like aggravates your skin, this is a good alternative. I'm going into the shade. I picked it up off the floor. This one's called Quickie and it's a little bit more peachy, and I'm just kind of going over that. Again, we're supposed to be a deer, so a little peachy. This color would also be good like if you're doing a scarecrow look, or if you like a nice like little flush of a blush. Just kind of going over that. I want to add a little bit more dimension. Get into the darker shades that are kind of going to define the cheek a little bit more, and we have the shade Cowgirl, which is like a really, this one's a deeper shade. This one is like if you want like a really like impactful blush. If you're light skin toned, or if you're darker skin toned, this will just probably look like blush. Look at that. This one's gonna stay mainly on the outer. Don't worry, I'm going over this with like a bronzer that'll make it more brown, but this is just like, this is our base. And I kind of didn't expect this to be like as red as it is. So I'm definitely gonna like limit that to just that. I'm concerned about this one, which also looks like a reddy. So I'm just gonna like really keep that on the outers. Also put a little across my nose. So these about faces are just fantastic. And I feel like I'm wearing nothing on my face, even though I know I'm wearing a lot. So now I'm going into the Ciate. This is the Soft Beach Bamboo Bronzer. And this is where we're gonna get a lot of that brown color put into the face, because a deer obviously has a lot of brown, not a lot of red. And I'm going in with a brush. This is actually a Yensa foundation brush, but since we're doing a Halloween look, you know, I feel like it's okay. So I'm like depositing the color and I'm gonna blend that out. You know, it looks weird, trust me. Process. Now I'm gonna go over that with a fluffier brush. This one is from Echo Tools. I'm gonna blend that out. So you see how that like warmed up a lot of that like shadow, and not shadow, a lot of that blush, it warmed it up a little bit. I feel like it definitely like warmed up the look a little bit. I'm also gonna bring some of that down. Oh, that's okay, it's Halloween. Bring a little bit that down to the neck. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do a little concealer under my eyes, because even when I'm a deer, I still wanna not have dark circles. If I was a deer, I wouldn't want dark circles. This is Lawless Conceal the Deal, and this is one of my favorite concealers. Even on a day when I'm not doing a Halloween look, I just love this concealer. It brightens up, like even with all this makeup that I'm wearing on my face, it just brightens up that under eye area. And I'm also gonna put it on my actual lid too, so that we can start the eyeshadow look. Although honestly, the eyeshadow from ColourPop is fantastic, so I'm not worried. But just because we need a little bit more impact, we're gonna put on some of that concealer, because it's really gonna conceal all that color on my lid and give us just a nicer base to work with. All right. So the shadow palette we're going into is the Hocus Pocus 2 palette from ColourPop. Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. Now don't limit yourself to like just witchy looks. Like you can be a deer with this palette. Going into my Luxie brush, and I'm gonna actually go into the spell book, which has a little cauldron on it. It's a very like neutrally shade, and I think it'd be a great starting point. So everything blends nicely together. I like that this is like almost my skin tone. So it really just like neutralizes everything, gives us a nice like starting off point, a nice jumping off point. Because I'll be honest, deers don't have like, you know, crazy colors, lots of browns and stuff. So put that on. Then I want to put on a little bit of like 29 years. Right there. Just like in the middle of the lid. Nothing special, you know, just a little something something. These are blending out flawlessly. Loving that. Wipe off my brush a little bit. I'm going into Cometh to Us. Put that a little bit on the outer corner, outer V. And yeah, I love that. So even just like as a look, as a daily look, I would absolutely wear this eye look, not all this face stuff, but like this eye look, I will absolutely wear this as an everyday look, just because it's like, I feel like it's very wearable. All right, so now underneath my lower lash line, I want to do a little bit of color because I'm a deer. So let's go in with this like Marvelous, which is kind of orangey. Just a little bit, just to kind of see, it's like, it's very subtle, but I feel like it adds just something, you know what I mean? It adds a little brightness to the eye. Like, it's nothing crazy, but it adds something. So now that we have that, we have to do some liner, because one thing I always think is like really pretty on like a lot of different animals is they have that almost like natural cat eye. So I'm doing the Hip Dot. This pencil is great because it is both a liquid and a regular pencil, so you can do both in one if you wanted to. For this, I'm actually going to do like a liquid liner. It has a very like thin point, which even when I'm visually impaired makes it really easy for me to just, you know, big me nose. So I'm doing like just, well, I was trying to do like just a small wing, but I always wound up doing a little too much. So there we go. Like I said, like aside from the face, this is definitely a look that I would absolutely wear like on a normal, like average Tuesday. That's cute. This is the About face. This is the Oxide. Now they do have a pencil, like a smaller one. I just don't have it right in front of me and I don't want to leave, so we'll just do this right here. But this definitely is gonna like open up the eyes and give you the wide, doe-eyed, deer-eyed, you know, when they see your headlights and they just stand there and stare at you kind of look. That's what we're going for right now, and we're nailing it. I'm gonna come back to this product actually. We have to do some lashes first, and we're gonna be using Kiss lashes. I have the Lash Superflex Strip Lash Adhesive. This is actually in black. So if you're doing a look and you don't want to do your liner, but you want like that strip of black, this is your product. If you are doing a look and you have used black liner and you want, you know, to make sure that your lash glue matches, this is also your product. So off screen, I'm visually impaired and I've been having problems doing my lashes. I feel like I'm reverting back where it's like now all of a sudden, like I used to be so good at doing my lashes, but since I've been wearing mascara, it's like I've lost all of my knowledge, all of my unconventional. But I put a little bit of lash glue on my hand and then I like dipped the lash in it so I didn't get too much on the lash. Like I said, probably not what you're supposed to do, but I was desperate. So I'm gonna just look down. So I think that might have been the problem. I think I might have just been putting like too much lash. No, see, now it's not sticking at all. I don't know what I'm doing. Like it's sticking to my finger but not my eyelid. Oh, send help. I think I figured out what the problem is. So I squeezed out a lot of it, and if you noticed, there's like a paste here and the rest is like liquidy. And I tried massaging the tube, I tried shaking the tube, so now it's coming out like as a paste versus like the very liquidy, oily texture that was coming out. I'm not sure what I did wrong. I don't know how I could have fixed it. I still love this lash glue. I don't know what I did wrong because it came out very liquidy and it just wasn't sticking, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't sticking. But now I kind of figured it out that like a lot of like the base was here, like it separated, you know what I mean? And I thought it might have separated. I tried massaging the tube, but it just didn't work. So now I don't know what to do. If there's anybody that can give me any advice, because this is a Kiss lash glue is like the only lash glue I use. Look at that, it's actually sticking. Like I felt my lashes stick together and actually, like, look at that, see? Can you see it pull my skin? I was definitely not having that result before. Like you saw the lashes were falling off my face. So my best advice to you guys is that if you have this lash glue, it's amazing, but it may separate and you might have to like massage the container a little bit to get it to work. Like see, it's staying on the lid now. Oh, baby, you don't have to get me lash glue.
Thank God.
I'm sorry. You see how happy he is, but like look at the difference. Do the lashes part of the reel. So I'm going back into the Hip Dot, and so I'm going to continue to draw into my little area here. Now this is nothing too crazy, like I'm not doing anything too crazy. I just wanted to bring the line in, that's all. So again, nothing too crazy, just bringing that line in to add a little bit of something. I'm gonna fill that in with a little bit of ColourPop. This is the ColourPop. This is a liquid graphic liner, and this said "This had to be you." And it's a little gold, so it's gonna add a little something special to that inner corner. I was gonna do white, but I was like, I think this actually might be just like a little bit prettier. It adds just a little something, like I would say like a little something unexpected, like just a little something there. And it also hides where it kind of messed up that lash glue a little bit. Just hide that right up. Hide our mistakes. This is my version like of a happy little tree. If I was, you know, that artist. I forgot his name right now. My husband would kill me if I told him I forgot the guy's name. It adds a little something. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more deery. You know what? And I'm actually gonna put like a little bit right under where we had the other line there too. That is pretty. Now we have to do our brows. I didn't forget about them. So I have the Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Precision Brow Pencil. Because even if I'm a deer, wow, the baby's like going crazy. Even if I'm a deer, I want my brows to be precise. I want Kevyn Aucoin to be looking down on me from heaven saying, your brows look amazing. That's what I want. That's goals. He had such a like a kind spirit too, so I'm sure that even if I mess this up, he's like, it's amazing, it's okay. So I did like my brows the way I would do them every day. A little bit of mess up under there, but like I did my brows how I would do them every day. That's how I do them every day. Nothing crazy. I'm sure if like you have more time and you want to, you could definitely like do something like super interesting with them, but I wanted to keep it short, simple, and sweet. So just some brows. Set those brows with the Benefit. This is the 24-hour brow setter. It's like a clear liquid, but it's definitely gonna get your brows nice and set. And I feel like for this look, since we're gonna be a deer, our brows gotta be a little feathery, you know? Just a little bit. A little bit on the wild side. And then after this, we're gonna do all the like little white dots so that the look actually comes together and I don't just look like I'm wearing the wrong foundation shade. Have any of you guys seen that trend where people do the "you don't look British" and then they put on a shade of foundation that's like 3 shades like too light for them? By the way, I just want to say that I love this brush because like one side is a paddle and the other side is flat for you to be able to like actually push up your brows and set them. Like look, it's flat on the one side, so you can literally hold. So we're gonna come back to this one because it's getting there, but it's still a little unruly. All right, so we definitely have like lift off. So whether you're using this to get an everyday feather brow or you want something a little bit more fun for Halloween, Benefit has you, because like, oh my God. I'm so glad I didn't get my brows done this week because like I needed all of this wildness for this look. And again, this paddle brush, this brush is amazing because it really allows you to not only like push those brows up and then like hold them in place. You don't have to get a separate tool. We're obsessed with simplicity here. So I believe I have like more brow hair on my other brow versus this one because like I'm trying to push up and there's like nothing else there. So that's okay. Brows can be, you know, cousins. They don't have to be sisters. All right, so now we have to start on the white spot. So like I said, it doesn't look like I'm just wearing the wrong shade of foundation. And I'm going into the About Face. This is again Oxide. And it's a nice shadow pencil, which makes it really easy. Look at this. It's a nice little pencil. And look how pigmented that is. Look, I love that. Easy. And look, it just went right over all of that like bronzer. It just tackled it. No bronzer, blush. Also by About Face. I'm telling you, if you want to do your makeup easily, you don't have to buy, you know, a whole bunch of makeup from like Party City that you'll only use once. You can buy quality makeup, and you don't even need a lot of it. that you can use again throughout like any makeup look you want to do. I've used this shadow pencil as bases for my eyeshadow. I've used it as like just as a shadow itself. I've used it to cut crease. Like this pencil is not pencil, but yeah, pencil I guess. This creamy product, it's necessary. So we did those dots, do like another like 1 or 2 there. We'll bring it in. I feel like this one should be a little bigger. And bring it on this side. So I'm following basically the C shape on my face. I went a little bit into my forehead too. I'm a spotted fawn, right? That's what it'd be called for a deer, like a female deer would be like a spotted fawn, because I've got all the spots. For the first time since I started this look, I had to wipe off this pencil because we started to get a little bit of that color. But like overall, this like definitely packs a pigment. Could you imagine like using this on your eye, like how pretty it looks? I've shared it a few times, but definitely a great product. I would recommend this. And they come in different colors too. They're not, you know, not just white. Although I like white because it just like neutralizes everything, you know what I mean? So this is my blind side because this is my blind eye. So this side might not be as perfect. But you definitely get the gist, right? So I want to bring this out to the, at least the middle of the cheek so we can kind of see it when I'm looking straight forward. I want to be able to kind of see it. And if you notice, I'm kind of like rubbing. I'm not like doing a circle. I'm kind of like going back and forth, and I feel like that gives the most pigment. I naturally have freckles, so it's kind of funny that I'm putting on like essentially like white freckles. I don't like that one. I don't want that one there. And again, just like the other products, it's like incredibly like lightweight and creamy, just very easy to use. Doing another few up here. I always forget that I have like more forehead than I have because I have all this hair up here. You know, I think I'm gonna make it neat up there. There we go. So now we gotta do the nose and the lip, which is where we're gonna get even more fun. I have 2 more products from About Face. And don't worry, we're gonna add a little highlight too, but I want to do the lips and the nose. So we have these 2 products from, we have the, what is this called? Visually impaired, so it's hard for me to read the label, but it is a matte lip pencil. I think it says Color Work. And then I also have the Paint It lip color in, the shade is called Slumber. Again, visually impaired, so it's not always very easy for me to see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush. This is actually from Benefit Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna put the brush that you would do your brows, and I'm just gonna do the nose. Again, I'm all about simplicity, so like a lot of this was just like bronze your face, do an eyeshadow look, put some dots on your face, do your brows, and now we're painting in our nose. There we go. That looks great. I love how pigmented that is. I was scared. I was like, is this gonna be enough? And it was like more than enough. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna do the lips, and I'm going in with the lip liner. So on an average day, these 2 products would be great as a lip look. But today we're using them just for this. And it's so creamy. And I'm overlining that top lip. And I'm actually gonna go back in with the lip tint just a little bit. No, I'm not ready yet. So I do want to get something on that lower lip just a little bit because it's like it's kind of dry. So I'm actually well, not dry, but like it needs something. So I'm just gonna put like a tiny bit of gloss. This is from Full Ritual. Just like I'm literally like wiping off the edge just a little bit, you know, just a little something. Okay, so now I want to keep my face hydrated because I'll be honest with you, no matter how good the makeup is, it's still drying on the face. So I'm going into my Derma E. This is the hydrating mist. This is gonna make sure we stay nice and hydrated even when doing Halloween looks, of course. I do want to go in with a little bit of the bronzer. I'm going from Ciate again, and I'm using, this is the Moda brush, Moda Pro. This is the BMX 430 crease. But I'm just gonna put that there on the nose to kind of make sure it stays nice and set, just because that is on our nose. Okay, here's the Ciate. And then we're gonna put a little highlight. I didn't forget, this one's also from About Face, and this is the Light Lock liquid highlight. And I'm gonna put just the tiniest bit up here. And if you're wondering, like, why didn't I put this on before? Well, I didn't want to, because I don't want it to cause any, I don't want it to get into any of the white. So I'm just literally kind of making it. So I know that this is not the traditional placement. That's the point. It's supposed to be like, ooh, I gotta wipe it. It's a little too much. I want it like this, like kind of like radiating out from like my cheek area, like this whole area here. I should have put the dot right there and then blended it out, but yeah, I wasn't thinking. Honestly, I should have put it here instead of here. I'm just so used to doing this, but we got it. It's okay. All right, so that actually pretty much finishes the look. Now I'm gonna let my hair down. I'm gonna run wild and free. Ooh. And then we have our antlers. And our little handsies. And that's it. And I can't wait to show you guys outside in the whole Shapermint look.
You